Oh, the autumn wind swept across the small Montana town, carrying golden leaves along the empty streets. Sarah Mitchell pulled her old sweater tighter around her shoulders as she locked the door of the tiny bakery where she worked long hours every day. At 35, Sarah had learned not to expect miracles. 10 years earlier, the man she loved had disappeared without a goodbye. A month later, she discovered she was pregnant. Friends urged her to move on. Some whispered that he had abandoned her. Others insisted he had found someone else. Sarah stopped listening. She gave birth to a beautiful daughter named Lily and devoted every waking moment to raising her. Life wasn't easy. Money was always short, and every dollar had a purpose. Sarah worked before sunrise and often returned home after dark, exhausted but determined. Every night Lily would ask the same question. Mom, do I have a dad? Sarah would smile gently. You do, sweetheart. Somewhere out there. Will he ever come? I don't know. Those words broke Sarah's heart every single time. Years passed. Lily grew into a bright, kind 10-year-old who never complained about wearing secondhand clothes or helping around the house. One rainy afternoon, Sarah stood by the kitchen window watching the storm. I guess this is how my story ends, she whispered to herself. Just me and Lily. She had accepted that she would probably grow old alone. The next morning changed everything. A dusty pickup truck stopped outside her small house. A tall man stepped out carrying an old leather envelope. Sarah had never seen him before. He walked to the porch and knocked. When Sarah opened the door, the stranger removed his hat respectfully. Are you Sarah Mitchell? Yes. My name is Daniel Harper. What can I do for you? Daniel looked nervous. I've been searching for you for almost a year. Sarah frowned. I think you've mistaken me for someone else. I don't believe I have. He carefully held out the weathered envelope. This belongs to you. Sarah hesitated before taking it. Across the front were 4 words written in familiar handwriting. For Sarah, with love. Her hands began to tremble. She recognized the writing instantly. Jacob, the man she had loved. The father of Lily. She stared at Daniel. Where did you get this? Daniel lowered his eyes. My older brother, Jacob, asked me to deliver it. Sarah's heart pounded. Jacob, where is he? Daniel swallowed hard. He passed away 6 months ago. The world suddenly felt silent. Sarah leaned against the doorway for support. No, I'm so sorry. Tears filled her eyes before she even opened the envelope. Inside was a faded letter dated exactly 10 years earlier. Her hands shook as she unfolded it. My dearest Sarah, if you're reading this, something has gone terribly wrong. I never left because I stopped loving you. The day I planned to ask you to marry me, I witnessed a robbery at the train station. I identified the criminals, and they threatened not only my life but yours. The sheriff arranged for me to leave under another name until they were caught. I wanted to tell you everything, but they warned that any contact would put you in danger. Every day I prayed I could come back. If I fail, please know I loved you every moment. There wasn't a sunrise when I didn't think of you. I hope someday you'll forgive me. Forever yours, Jacob. Sarah couldn't breathe. For 10 years she had believed he'd abandoned her. Instead, he had sacrificed everything to protect her. Daniel quietly spoke. My brother never stopped loving you. Sarah wiped away tears. Why didn't he come back? He tried. Daniel reached into his jacket and pulled out another envelope. This explains the rest. Inside were medical papers. Jacob had developed a severe illness. Only a few years after leaving. Doctors had given him little hope. Instead of returning as a dying man, he chose to keep watching from a distance whenever he safely could. He saw you, Sarah whispered. Daniel nodded. He watched Lily's first day of school from across the street. Sarah covered her mouth. He attended every school play. What? He never missed one. He was there. Yes. He celebrated every birthday by leaving anonymous gifts. Sarah remembered the mysterious books, the handmade wooden horse, the winter coat that had appeared on the porch one Christmas morning. She had never known who sent them. It was Jacob. Daniel smiled sadly. He wanted Lily to have something from her father, even if she never knew. At that moment the front door opened. Lily skipped inside after playing with friends. She stopped when she saw the stranger. Hi. Daniel smiled warmly. You must be Lily. She nodded. Who are you? Daniel looked at Sarah. Sarah knelt beside her daughter. Honey. Her voice broke. I have something important to tell you. She explained everything as gently as she could. Lily listened without interrupting. When Sarah finished, tears rolled down the little girl's cheeks. So, my daddy loved me. Sarah nodded. More than anything, he didn't leave because he didn't want me. No, he was protecting us. Lily hugged the letters tightly against her chest. I wish I could have met him. Daniel reached into his truck one final time. He carried a small wooden chest. Jacob wanted Lily to have this when she was old enough. Inside were dozens of letters. One for every birthday she had ever celebrated. Another bundle was labeled, to be opened on your graduation. Another, on your wedding day. Another, when you become a mother. Jacob had spent years writing messages for every important moment he knew he would never see. Sarah cried harder than she ever had before. Lily carefully opened the first birthday letter. It read, Happy first birthday, Princess. I wish I could hold you today. Never doubt that your father loves you beyond words. The second letter, the third, each one carried hope, encouragement, and endless love. For weeks, Sarah and Lily read them together every evening. Slowly, grief gave way to gratitude. Jacob hadn't abandoned them. He had loved them until his final breath. Months later, Daniel returned to visit. He and Sarah spent hours talking about Jacob's childhood, his dreams, and the adventures they shared growing up. Lily loved hearing stories about the father she had never known. Over time, Daniel became like family. He repaired broken fences, helped around the house, and attended Lily's school events. But unlike anyone before, he never tried to replace Jacob. He simply honored his brother's memory. One spring afternoon, Sarah, Lily, and Daniel visited Jacob's grave. Lily placed a bouquet of wildflowers beside the headstone. "Hi, Dad," she whispered. "I finally know who you are. I got all your letters. I'm going to make you proud." Sarah stood quietly beside her daughter. For years she believed her life had been abandoned by love. Now she understood something very different. Real love sometimes sacrifices everything without asking for recognition. As they prepared to leave, Sarah noticed one